Today on the Tom Kelly Show.
That's not a big deal. Oh, we have to say that?
I do. Yeah.
Welcome.
It's a different episode. Today on the Tom Kelly Show, comedian Olga Namer is here. This is the part 2 that may air as a part 1. And she's had 10 grams of THC.
No.
What have you had?
5 milligrams
of THC. She could pop at any second. Let's start the show.
The Tom Kelly Show. Everybody, I want you to go to the Tom Kelly Show. I want you all to know about the Tom Kelly Show.
Here we go. Content warning, spoiler alert. The edibles have kicked in. You are experiencing the Tom Kelly Show. Today, I am here with Olga Namer, brilliant comedian who's big on Long Island. And this is the stand-up comedy podcast where one comedian gets back to having fun. And I talk about Long Island news, nonsense, nostalgia, or I just screw around. And this is probably the screwing around thing. For a woman who is from Brooklyn and performs in Manhattan,
yes,
you perform a lot on Long Island.
I do.
What do we think of Long Island crowds, and would you ever move to Long Island?
No, I would not move to Long Island.
Why?
I love New York
Okay.
City.
But wait, why? But like, okay, because I always do well when my guests make fun of Long Island.
I would never make fun of Long Island.
Okay, what's your favorite part of Long Island then?
Governors.
Governor's Comedy Club. What do you love about Long Island people?
Oh, and I also love the Hamptons.
Okay, tell me, what do you love about the Hamptons?
Everything.
Oh, now you're being fake. I liked you better when you were high.
I'm not being
Okay,
fake.
no, okay, like
I love the Hamptons.
Do you drive?
I do drive, but I don't have a car. But if I like the Hamptons. Who doesn't like the Hamptons?
I feel like regular people don't like the Hamptons.
They don't?
Yeah.
Who?
I don't know if I love the Hamptons.
What's not to like?
I don't like paying for it.
Which parts?
And like the night I went out for drinks with you at, what was it, Bill Bouquet?
Yeah, but you think going out in the city is not as much?
I know this. I did a show in Southampton. You were on it. Okay?
Yeah.
And then you took me to the very exclusive Bill Bouquet,
yeah,
where I got to meet Cuba Gooding Jr. before I realized he was canceled.
Oh.
I met Andrew Schulz.
Okay.
And then I said, "Oh, Olga was so awesome. I'm going to buy her and her friends a round of drinks." I spent my paycheck.
Really nice.
It was very nice.
How much did it cost?
I think I got paid as a comedian $150 for
and then
the
you
night.
Spent it.
And I spent it on the first round.
Well, don't you think it was worth it that whole night?
That whole night only because I hooked up. But yeah, if I didn't hook up that night, it would not have been worth $150.
Well, you did. You can't talk about that. That's
no, we don't have to go anymore.
I didn't hook up, then
Yeah.
that's like putting a negative. That didn't happen. So you could just say it was an amazing night.
It was an amazing night.
It was the best night of his life.
It honestly might have been one of the only times I touched a woman in 2024. But yes.
And it was free.
No, I paid for the drinks.
No, because basically it canceled out with the show. The show was fun.
Okay, it was neutral.
Right?
Yeah, but I feel like this.
And then the next day was also fun, wasn't it?
We had a delightful day together. Yes, we did.
You got to go see my uncle's garden.
Yeah, okay. So your uncle, by the way, defied my expectations.
Really?
Yeah, you're like I have an image of you being, just rich and ready to fly to Israel at any second. And your uncle was like a nice man with a vegetable garden, very regular.
Yeah.
Your aunt.
I'm not rich.
Okay, but you're not regular.
In the head, I'm not regular.
But I feel like you're fancy. Are you fancy?
Fancy? In like what way? Yeah, I guess I don't like horrible things.
I mean, okay. Okay, let's ask fun questions. Would you date a Christian guy?
I have.
But you don't like it?
No, I just get disowned.
Okay, so it's not good for the family.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Would you date a poor guy?
I have.
Okay, how did that go?
It's bad.
Okay, why is it bad?
No, I don't know if I ever dated a poor person.
Have you ever dated where you had to buy dinner, where you were the financial?
Never.
No.
I would never.
Okay. Next question.
Well, that's because that's insane. If I'm the one making the money right now,
Right.
as a comic in the relationship, and I have to pay for dinner,
Yeah, okay, you're right.
that would be crazy.
Okay.
I could get them free drinks at a club, maybe, but not even.
Yeah, no.
And that has nothing to do with anything. That has to do with like, I'm a believer in the female and male roles.
Okay.
That the males should pay for everything. And
So,
the
like, if
girls
we're out in the
don't.
Hamptons, Tom Kelly should use his paycheck to buy the drinks.
No, because then when we went for lunch, we all
You did.
split
You
it.
took very good. Well, we split. No, you were good to me. You were
Yeah,
very
it
good
wasn't.
to me that weekend.
I don't expect friends to do that. I'm saying if I'm in a relationship
Okay.
and a guy's asking me out on a date, they should be paying for the date.
Okay.
Do you ever make a girl pay?
When I know it's going bad. But I
Like,
know it's over.
like you'll say, "Do you want to go for drinks?"
Yeah.
And then the girl, you could feel like,
No, I don't even want to be spiteful. There have been times where I have accepted the offer.
you
I've-
have.
Yeah. Like I went on a date with a girl recently.
Mm-hmm.
She was, let's make it 33.
Okay. Do they know your age? Do you share?
Yeah, I'm going to say it in a minute.
Okay.
Here we go. She was 33 and thought I was 38. She
Okay.
tried Googling me. I come up as 38 on the internet.
Do.
Yes, I've done some good work. In fact, I'm screwing it up by saying my real age now. But
And you'll say
and then
you're-
she realized I was older than 38.
Right. Well, okay.
And then she was kind of like, about 3 sentences later, she's like, yeah, I got to be blunt. This isn't going to work for me. Like it was like a game show and I had just lost.
Oh, and then I'll split the bill.
And then she said, I'll split the bill with you at a certain point.
That's nice of her.
And I gave it one haggle. I said, are you sure? And she's like, no, please. Like she
Okay.
wanted no guilt on her end. Yeah.
I get that. So yeah, if I'm with a guy and I know I don't like them and they like me, I would be like not wanting them to get my drink.
Okay.
Because then that's like kind of like
It's a miss signal.
accepting, right?
No, I like that. And I respect that. Next one for you. Fun to say Jewish words.
Okay.
You gave me one on the last show.
Okay. You want more?
I think that could be fun
I
for
think
us.
you only like the ch stuff.
I mean, well, first of all,
This one will be hard for you. Shechianu.
Shechianu.
Oh, wow.
What does that mean?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
forgot.
You really don't know what it means?
I think Shechianu. No, it's just in a prayer.
Okay, that just sounds very like,
Shechianu.
that sounds like, like Keanu Reeves. That just sounds very like an actor's name. Shechianu
Shechianu.
Reeves.
Really?
Yeah, right? Say that. Shechianu Reeves.
Shechianu.
Shechianu Reeves.
Shechianu Reeves.
Yeah. Give me another, like,
It's
what?
hard because usually in the prayer it goes Shechianu, Vikimanu, Vihigianu. And so like when I had to say Shechianu Reeves, I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, wait.
See,
what?
that sounds like all Keanu Reeves brothers. Shechianu, Vikianu,
Vikimanu,
Vikimanu,
Keimanu.
Nanu,
No, Keimanu.
Kenny
If
Manu,
you say Anachnu,
Anachnu,
Anachnu.
Anachnu.
That means we.
We. That's a lot of syllables for we.
Well, you have to, there's
Like we?
all this, there's Ani, which is I, Ani.
Right?
And then there's Anachnu, which is we.
Okay.
And then there's At, which is like you, Ata, no, At, which is you for a boy, Ata, you for a girl.
Okay.
Itanu is us as like, I don't even know. I was very bad at the Deek Duke.
Were you?
Do you know what Deek Duke is?
What is Deep
The
Duke?
grammar of Hebrew.
Deep Duke sounds like
Deek Duke.
Deek Duke. I think he played for the Giants in 94.
Exactly.
Deek
Wait,
Duke.
yeah, but no, because let's say I go, Ani, this is a basic thing that we learn like first grade. Ani rotza lalechet b'sherutim bevakasha.
That's a lot.
Ani rotza lalechet b'sherutim bevakasha. Can I please go? I have to go to the bathroom, please.
Can you go to Israel and you're fluent in Hebrew? No. Okay. See, I had that stereotype.
And sometimes they speak fast.
Okay. So
you know, there's a comedian, Yohad Sponder. Do you know him?
I just want to say that. I just want to say
He's
that name.
so funny. He
Yohat
does
Sponder?
Yohat Sponder. He does shows in English shows in Tel Aviv. In
Okay.
English. But then he has like this joke about how, because they think Israel's colonizers, right? Right? And then he has different jokes, but one of them is about language. He's like, usually when people colonize people, they make them speak their language.
Right.
Right? Like everyone speaks English or like the I don't know, whatever. It was when you colonize, they take on the person who's colonized.
Yeah.
So anyway, he goes, we're so bad at colonizing. I had to learn another language to speak to my people in this country.
Okay.
And basically also he's like, we can't even colonize our own people. There are Jews that cannot speak Hebrew.
Okay, that's a tough
or
one.
read it.
And can you speak it or read it?
I could definitely read it. Speaking it, it's like it's hard. It's not easy.
Like, do you practice anymore, or you just let it go? It's kind of like you did.
No,
it
when I was in Israel, I would.
How long were you in Israel?
You get to pick it up. I was there in June. I was there for like 3 weeks.
Would you go there more?
I love Israel.
What's the best part? Like right now, me, Catholic guy, what do I get out of going to Israel?
Oh, you would be mind blown.
How so?
I don't know. If I've never seen it before, like I grew up going there, so I seen all the history and the spots that people go to. A million times I've seen it. Like,
and you love it?
Not a million, a lot.
Or are you numb to it?
But
are you like someone who lives in Orlando who just isn't impressed by Space Mountain anymore?
Like that, or no, someone who lives in New York and we see
the Empire State Building.
Yeah,
that's a better analogy.
But then I would say the part like when I went, I did do things that I would never normally do, which was wild. But anyway, the part that I would say that I liked after doing all the trip stuff that we had on the bar mitzvah and that, I liked Tel Aviv and you go to the beach. And it's just amazing. Like, should I show you a picture?
No, not right now.
Why?
Because we're on the radio. We're on a podcast. Just describe it.
But let them see it.
Well, you could text me the picture later. You have the picture handy?
Yeah.
Okay.
But keep talking. I could do two things at
Okay,
once.
as you're doing your Tel Aviv picture, I'm going to ask you some silly questions about relationships.
Okay.
An easy one.
I love it.
Okay. So I have sleep apnea.
Okay.
But I hate the sleep apnea machine.
What is the sleep apnea machine?
It's a CPAP machine. Have you ever seen those? Have you ever dated a guy who had to go to bed with a Darth Vader mask? You're making the face. I wish I had better cameras on this.
No,
yeah.
I never in my life.
You never in your life hooked up with a guy who had a Darth Vader?
No, and also I date old people.
Okay, so.
But also I also don't hook up with a lot. I'm not a whore.
No, but you're a whore on stage.
On stage, because in my head, I think I'm a whore.
But you're not. You're kind of prudish.
But I'm very big prude.
Liar. Actually, here's how I know you're not a whore. You've never hooked up with me.
Exactly.
There you go.
You know how hard that is for me? Every day I see
to resist this?
Yeah.
So here's a question, though. And I think if you had any feelings for me,
okay,
they will be over right now.
Okay.
Okay, so I bought these. I saw them on TikTok. I see our friend Chris Roach wearing them on his little videos.
Okay.
It's called a Breathe Right strip.
Okay. And it could help you breathe.
Now imagine, would you hook up with a man?
No, but if they're sleeping over, then you basically already hooked up.
Okay. So would you hook up with a guy who's wearing that?
But we already slept together?
Let's go slow. What if I wanted to put this on before sex?
No, because then I'll be like,
no.
That just means you're weird. It wouldn't bother me. And also if I loved you and I was with you already, but if I first start, and then it depends, like if I'm in the person's house and I'm liking them, and then I really like them and they did that, I'm thinking of like someone that I dated in the past.
Okay.
I'd be like, all right. Because if you like the guy, anything is cute. Do you understand?
Okay, so what stage in the relationship can I break out the Breathe Right strips?
When you think she loves you so much or likes you.
Okay, so
like
not
that wouldn't make me. You have other problems.
Okay, so
it's not going to be the.
So you and I, not you and I, but you and Guy with breathing problems hook up for the night. It's a night in the Hamptons. You hook up, and then he pulls this out. It's the first night you're meeting. Do you like put your clothes on and Uber home?
No. That's such a. If he could get me into his room, first of all, that would be hard. But
okay,
if we didn't date for a while,
but if he got crazy enough that you got into the room, this is not the turn off. I guess is what you're saying. It's not the turn off.
It would be wild that I would get to the point where I'd be in his room and in his bed, and then like they don't go hand in hand for me. That all of a sudden he pulls that out, and I'm like. I'd be like, what? Because I would know you at that point. Like, I'm not going to bed with strangers.
My God, I just want to make a joke about the breathe right strip on my nose.
I know, but
you're being so real and deep. Now I feel like I'm turning you into the whore that you're not. I just wanted to make a joke about these. And you're like, well, first, Tom, if we were in bed, I would accept you because I'd love you enough to be in bed with you.
Exactly.
That I would accept you for the breathe right strip.
That's why ChatGPT loves me.
Well, your ChatGPT therapist loves me. Well, I'm going to take this off for the show now. All right, next question. Because I have actual prepared content.
But by the way, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If you put that on and the girl that you're with goes and walks out because of that, is that the type of girl you want to be with?
Oh, that would make me want her even more. Yeah.
Because she hates you.
I love women who hate me.
Okay, well, how do you change that?
Like, I don't know. Well, I'm working on rewriting my story. Like, it's funny. Without naming the person, like, Olga knows somebody I went out with for a night.
Yeah.
Fair? Okay.
Yeah.
That person, now that person definitely doesn't like me anymore, I'm like, well, why doesn't she like me? Now I need her to like me.
Why?
When I thought she did like me, I was afraid of her and didn't like her. That's how I am.
I get it.
The best way to get rid of me is to show interest. Then my own fears kick in. But if someone I don't like doesn't like me, then
but you have to also get over that hump. Like if somebody it shows you interest and your tendency is to just like run and walk away, that's because it's just this like tiny change of feelings of uncomfortableness that you have to get over so you could get to the other side, because feelings are just feelings and they pass.
When was your last functional relationship? You busted my chops about this on the last show.
My last, what does a functional one mean? Like a long one?
I'm gonna even say, what does functional even mean to you for a relationship as a comedian?
Well, I've had like 3-month relationships since I started. Since I started comedy. Like, oops.
All right. Well, there goes
like
the San
here
Pellegrino.
and there.
Okay.
I had like short ones, and then relationships where like my parents actually met the person, and he's Jewish, and that he came to like Mother's Day. That was,
oh my God, that's a leap.
I mean, I had
that's
that
a
before.
leap. Yeah, that's a holiday's a leap.
That was like before I started comedy, because after comedy, it was like but it was like when I was like 7 years ago. That was that. But when I really went deep into comedy, a lot of the others, I think it's because I also didn't want to share so much with my parents at that time. Does that make sense?
Sort of.
Because they didn't approve of anything in my life. So I don't want...
what's weird is I've only brought in one person I liked home to my parents.
Really?
Yeah. And we weren't even together. I just brought her home as a friend. And then for the rest of my life, my grandparents would say, what happened to that person?
Oh, my God.
What happened to that person? What happened to Pam? You like Pam? Pam was nice.
What did happen to her?
Pam was not the one, or Pam was realistic. Like, it's funny. Like, I tend to fall for models, people who are out of my league. And Pam worked in TV.
Okay.
We were college friends. And there was a point where I was about to intern at Conan O'Brien.
Okay.
And I was going to leave school early.
Uh-huh.
Like I was going to...
That's so cool.
I was going to graduate a semester early.
Okay.
And she and I were just best friends.
Okay.
And I remember being too shy to really ask her out while we were best friends. And just with this leap that I was leaving, I called her on the phone. I'm like, listen, I'm going to be interning at Conan O'Brien. Oh, that's great, Tom. And I'm like, listen, I'm leaving and I kind of have feelings for you. And she was that kind of friend who made me want to be a better friend. Mm-hmm. And then she kind of said, and I'm like, and I remember saying, listen, I don't want to leave college without saying I want to date you. Mm-hmm. And she's like, well, I don't want you to quit Conan O'Brien for me.
Is that how she sounded? Like,
no, not at all.
Like Mickey Mouse?
No, not at all. But I feel like I need to do a voice in this moment.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I would never give up Conan O'Brien for you.
You said that?
I blatantly said that, but I would hang out with you on weekends and want to date you
and
figure it out. And she said, yeah, no. And she friend zoned me. And then about a year later.
Well, she didn't friend zone you. She kept you as a friend.
I tried to get out of the friend zone and she put me back in.
Right.
Yeah.
So she just had you where you were the whole time.
She kept me in she used her militia to keep me in the friend zone.
And did you stay friends or did you get distant?
A year later, maybe 2 years later, she lived in Sacramento.
Okay.
And I drove from Los Angeles up to Sacramento to see her. And I was probably very much in the friend zone, trying to push out of the friend zone one more time.
Oh, shoot.
It was a Tuesday or Wednesday night, and I remember driving 8 hours to kind of see her.
Yeah.
And she took me to Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Did she pay?
No, probably yes or not. I don't know, but it was.
And then what happened?
I think I slept on the sofa, and she was tired that night. And that was definitely that meanness.
Why couldn't you take her somewhere else?
I forget the details. This is 25 years ago, 30 years, 26 years ago. But whatever it was, I think she wasn't into doing anything more exciting than that.
Like hooking up. Yeah.
And honestly, I was very much a virgin at this point.
You were?
Oh yeah, I was a virgin till late in life.
How old?
24 or 26, something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I hung on to it in part for Jesus.
You were religious?
And I still am to some degree.
I didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like whatever. And then two, honestly, I had one cousin who had kids young.
Okay.
And my big thing, when you ask why I'm single at 48, the real thing is I've always been married to comedy.
I didn't know you were 48.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah.
And I probably won't say it again, but why I'm single at my age is, how old did you think I was?
43.
I'll take it. That's a win. I would have settled for 38, my internet age, my chat GPT age. But the big ending is, I don't know, man. I'm very, I know I don't want to be a dad. Or
never did?
I probably do in some ways, but I don't think, let's put it like this. For all the comedians I know who are dads, they're either great comedians or shitty dads. I don't know anybody who's a good dad and a great comedian. Very few.
Larry David, Jerry Seinfeld.
No, they can't be. I don't know them.
Judd Apatow.
I don't know them up close and personal, so I can't judge them.
Okay, but Larry looks like him and his daughter has got along very well.
Maybe.
Let me think. Gilbert.
Maybe.
He's a great dad.
I don't know. I just, at my level, a lot of the people, and I'm not.
No, it's hard if you're on the road.
It's a hard job. It's hard. And maybe they had good wives. I don't know.
Yeah.
But at least the ones I knew, let's put it like this. My dad was such a great dad. I knew I couldn't be like my dad.
Like around.
My dad was around and did shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad was a great man, is a great man. And my dad is a great man. My mom's a great woman, but my mom worked and my mom was never home. Dad covered that end of it. But where was I going that was smart? I don't know. But for me, that's why you asked friend zoned or whatever, I forget what question.
No, you said we were talking about that because you hooked up late in life. So
for me.
Who would think that an Orthodox Jewish girl would have
been
lost
perfect
their virginity before you?
When did you lose your? Well, you lost it on your wedding night. Mm-hmm. But what about your friends?
Oh, when they get married.
But that's part of why I think they rush to get married. That's why I think the born-again Christians.
Yeah, that's what I said. I have that joke. Do you want to have sex without guilt?
Yeah, you got to get married.
And a raise in your allowance.
So I knew a girl, oh God, this was the worst religious thing ever. So it was another one of my internet crushes trying to bond or
just
whatever.
internet crushes?
I do a lot of internet. Like I think right now there's nobody I know that I want to date in my real life right now.
Yeah, but why can't you meet up with these internet people?
I have met up with a few, and then it turns out to be they're far away. They don't like me. I get friend zoned there. But I did meet up with one. So I meet up with one, and she coached for the FCA. Have you heard about the FCA?
No.
They're so Christian, Chick-fil-A gives them money.
Okay.
And she was so religious that all these religious bombs came out on an afternoon coffee date. That I'm like, I can't keep up. I'm not this religious. Like
really?
It got to a certain point where like she was a kleptomaniac who found Jesus.
Oh my God.
And listen, but that saved her.
She stole and Jesus stole her heart. I love how you like, is that funny?
Jesus stole and Jesus stole her from stealing. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm rambling a bit, but this was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
What have we not talked about that I should ask you about? What do people not know about you?
I don't know.
No?
I have no idea.
Okay. Do you get mad when people think of you as the Jewish comedian?
I didn't even know people think of me as that.
Well, you're big on the Jewish circuits.
Am I?
I think you are.
I'm not big enough.
Well, not big enough yet.
But I don't consider myself like that. I consider myself a comedian, no?
I don't, yeah, and I agree. I don't like it, just so I could put you on this.
But I guess if you're right, like if
I get labeled
let's say
Long
someone,
Island comedian. I don't
do
like that.
you?
I think I have been lately, and I'm earning that label with my Instagram.
But you're not a Long Island comic.
I'm not, but I don't mind not, or at this point, I don't know what I want to be known as.
And I'm known as not, I could be known as a Long Island.
Oh,
no.
I think you're the queen of Long Island right now.
I am.
I mean, I think you're the woman who gets booked the most out there.
Well, I mean,
and people like you. You're on the flyers, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
You're solid. You're out there. You're doing it.
But I also do New York.
You do. And there you go. So do we fight the labels we're given?
Right. So what is my label?
Or what label would you want? Actually, let's start with that. How do you label yourself?
I guess I don't want a funny Jewish comic.
That's not a bad
way.
But
Jewish, like, is it like, meaning she only does Jew jokes? I'm not that, but I am a Jew.
I like that.
You know?
Yeah, no, I like that. Like, I'm trying to figure out what labels, like, I'm trying to figure out if I had to put labels on me, what labels would I put on me? What labels would you put on me? You've seen me.
I only think of people as good comedians or bad comedians or okay comedians.
Very simple. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid, see, I don't like that ranking because I'm afraid I'm going to be just okay.
Like, I'm never like, oh, he's this comic. I just know if you're funny or you're not funny.
See, for me, I have so many shades of labels in between. See, I think everybody's funny for 5 minutes.
But don't you think that it just boils down to that? Who cares?
In the old days, yes. Nowadays, I think everybody's got one joke.
No, then there could be nowadays, I guess there is this that you could say, oh, yeah, he's like a real comic. That's like a TikTok.
Yeah, like, I mean, even like in the...
But that's also funny, not funny, because even a TikTok comic could be really funny.
On TikTok?
No, but also sometimes on stage, too. They just need experience, probably.
Well, I think everybody can be funny on stage with the right training.
You think?
A lot.
I don't know. I don't know if everybody could be funny.
I think, you know what? I think I think not everybody could be funny for any crowd, but I think those TikTok people can be funny for their crowds.
If they train, yeah, write it and like get it.
Like we know a lot of people who are in the,
because their crowds already love them.
Yeah, and they love, and they know what they're there to expect.
Right.
Like we know a lot of people in the growing up Italian circuit. Like they're like, hey, I'm Italian. So if you have a crowd of people who are ready for Italian jokes, even if your Italian joke's only a 7, it's going to work.
Right. But then there's comedians who are that, but then they're also funny for everybody.
There you go. And I think that's a hard one to do.
Right. But you could start, like, let's say Modi, right?
Right.
I feel like he started, I guess, he did a lot of Jewish
When did
things.
he start coming up?
Long time.
He's been around 20 years, right?
I guess. But now, I mean, like, Modi could be funny for everyone also. Like, he's funny. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he could do the Jew jokes and then he could do regular.
Oh, and I like him.
Yeah, so meaning like, but then so I feel like Italians have that too. Or like Zarna, she's an indie.
Well, Zarna's bringing people into the Indian, like Zarna's the first real Indian comic in so many ways for me.
But I don't look at her as, oh, she's an Indian comic. I look at her, she's funny. Like her jokes.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
They're not, I guess that's when you get past the point maybe, because then if you're like, in the beginning when I started, I was doing Jewish jokes, and it was a lot, I think, like niche. Does that make sense?
No, I get that. Like right now, I'm going back to the niche. Like right now,
But your niche is bit like huge, or are you doing niche Long Island?
Well,
jokes?
right now the Long Island jokes I'm trying to make broader. Like my line right now is Long Island is a character, not the star. And how do I make Long Island any town USA without just making it all jokes about the Tri-County flea market?
Right. You know, with your Massapequa mom group, you could probably do that.
Oh, I do that.
With
that works
so many other groups.
So it
right?
works as a neighborhood group. There's a few punchlines that don't work outside of the town.
Oh, okay.
Just a few subtle punchlines, like hearing helicopters and stuff. Doesn't work there.
Okay.
But I'm trying
because the premise is there for everything. Yeah.
So like I'm trying to make the "Are we dating the same guy?" Long Island joke work everywhere. Because I think there's that group everywhere. I don't know. I'm trying to get past my labels too. All right, if we were wrapping it up, because I feel like your edibles kicked out.
Yeah, kicked out.
Like it kicked in and then it kicked out.
No. Well,
what do you want people to know about you? Like if you had 1 minute to say, "I'm Olga Namer. This is what Tom Kelly's fans should know about me." What should they know about you?
Oh my God, I don't know.
Like,
I guess that.
I mean, I could hit the. You do your thing, and
I don't know what people want to know about me.
All right, I'll give you this.
Okay, ask me like.
Let's play the big word game, and we'll close on that.
Okay,
something shallow.
I like that.
Olga, can Olga use big words in a sentence? Elucidate.
Elucidate?
Elucidate.
Elucidate?
Elucidate. To make something clear and understandable.
I don't know. I never heard of it.
Okay, next.
Elusive, I know.
Malaise. Did you do college or no?
No.
No? Jewish girls don't have to go to college?
I got married, remember?
You did, but then you got divorced. What did you do after that?
And then I went to culinary school, and then I went to some college.
Wait, you went to culinary school?
You didn't know?
I did not know that. You don't look like you even boil water.
Wait, but you didn't. It's in my act.
Yeah, I guess I missed that part. Or forgot about, or I didn't believe it till now, or I'm faking it for now.
I went to culinary school.
For which one?
Institute of Culinary Education.
Wait, that's the good one, right?
Yeah, it was on 23rd Street, but they moved.
That's the French cooking one, right?
No, that's the French Culinary Institute.
What did they?
That was in Soho. I didn't.
What did you learn how to cook?
Everything.
Like right now, if I brought like, what's your favorite thing to cook?
No, I like to cook vegetables because I eat vegetables, but I can make everything.
Okay, what's your favorite thing to make, not eat?
The thing that the person I'm cooking for loves.
Oh, and I hear a little emotion in that.
What?
So
emotion. No, if I'm like,
was there someone like, what would you cook for your mom? Now you see, it's a different face there.
My mother wouldn't want me to. She'll want me to cook something that she doesn't want to cook when she's making a big dinner.
Okay.
Like she likes me to do, like she likes me to help her with like the stupid things, I guess. Like crudité. You know that.
Vegetables.
Yeah.
Vegetable platter.
I know. And then
what does that mean?
We had to boil eggs on Passover. Like she wanted me to help her with that when I was at home for Passover. I had to boil like 26 eggs, but I did it perfectly. And the inside was yellow with no gray shadow.
How do you make a perfect egg? What's the secret?
Okay, you have to take the egg and you put it in a pot, like cover it with water, and then you put it on the pot, and then when it comes to a rumbling boil, you cover the pot, shut off the fire, and let the egg sit in it for 10 to 12 minutes. And then after that time's up, you put it in an ice bath so it like cools off the shell. And then you can peel the shells easily.
That's a lot of work.
Perfect egg.
But that's a perfect egg.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's the note. We're not getting out on a better note than that. All right, folks. Olga Namer. Find her on Instagram. I'll put all the links in the show notes. New podcast here every Sunday and maybe sometimes during the week. Until next time, good night, New York. I love it. Good job, my friend.